Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to Q&A Saturday. This is the Sometimes Willy series on my channel. I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across the last week's Q&A Saturday video. This is a fun once-a-week opportunity for me to answer your biggest questions and have a back and forth about the big things that you're wondering and that maybe I can answer when it comes to life, the universe, and of course the most important thing, Minecraft updates. So today we'll be going through a bunch of questions, starting with this first one, which comes in from Agent Mindstorm, and he says, which blocks do you think should have received slabs, stairs, and walls in 1.9 but didn't? And can I quickly go rant mode here? Okay, I can. Let me just quickly rant about the 1.9/1.14 block reorganization, because they had this real problem in Minecraft before where there was an inconsistent definition of what defined a stair, of what defined a slab, and some people argued, but not really, what defined a wall. So they figured, okay, Jeb has even directly said, the thing we're deciding is any crafted stone material will be able to be used to make a stair, a slab, or a wall. And it's like, yeah, they're gonna fix the inconsistency. 1.14 is pretty much finished with that. 1.9 has fully come out, and let me explain to you, they did not fix the inconsistency issue in the slightest, because when it comes to like, so what blocks can be made into a stair, slab, or a wall, it's a different list for all three items. There are different stairs that can't be made for slabs, that can't be made for walls, and it's so bizarre because there's so many things where it's like, oh, well, you could just argue that, for instance, polished granite walls, which would be one of the best types of walls, you can't make them because you can't polish something then turn it into a wall. Why not? What's the logic there? But okay, maybe you can accept the like polishing or making walls are separate, pathways, because you can make polished granite stairs for some reason. But then the thing that really just like boggles my mind is when you look at, for instance, the fact that Prismarine in the 1.13 update, they made it so Prismarine could be turned in, and dark Prismarine and Prismarine bricks all got their respective slabs and stairs. So in this update, they made a Prismarine wall, and I was like, okay, can't wait for the dark Prismarine wall, and especially the Prismarine brick wall. I love Prismarine brick. I think it'd make a great wall. They never came. Prismarine and dark Prismarine and Prismarine bricks can only be made into stairs and slabs, and there's no justification as far as I can tell that makes that make any sense. 1.14 was trying to fix inconsistency, but their real thing was like, what if we made it even more inconsistent? What if we made you question your mind, your morals, your everything even more? And I just don't understand how or why there's no logic for it or why there's no explanation. It just happened. It's a thing that's there now, and it really, really drives me insane. But maybe that's just me. So we'll move on to the second question, which is a little bit less insanity, because the question is to do with the last week's Q&A Saturday question title, which I left up for the first week or so. It's just Q&A Saturday. So he asks, what's with the title? It's so empty. And this is an interesting kind of case study, because what Q&A Saturday is the series on my channel which I would say has the most out there titles. If you want to use the word clickbaity, sure, that's fine. You can call my title clickbaity. That's fine with me. Q&A Saturday, maybe I even agree with you. But one of the things I always try to do is I make sure that if you follow the channel, if you know that Q&A Saturday is, they always go up on Saturday. So a Saturday video, you're curious about it, and it has a question mark in it, probably Q&A Saturday. There's QSAT usually in the thumbnail, and the description, the first line, is answering your questions every single time. It's very easy to avoid. I make it as easy as possible. And last week, because over the past few weeks, I've been having serious sleep issues. Like, my body is just not functioning correctly with sleep and being awake and being alive. Right now, who knows what time it is? I've got a bright light on me. It could be 4 a.m., could be 4 p.m., who knows for sure. But the point I'm trying to raise here is that because I've been having rough sleep and I've been basically doing a lot more like video stuff in the early AM morning hours, I've been making a lot of weird video ideas and weird video things. I'm just like, this is a great idea, and then later I'm like, what is that all about? And one of those just weird ideas was I was uploading Q&A Saturday, and I was like, what if instead of coming up with a title, I just left it as Q&A Saturday? And the funny thing is that so many comments, like this one had 60 upvotes. There were other comments saying, what's with the title? I don't feel so good. And it's just a good example of the fact that, no matter how you title a Q&A Saturday, even, some people are like, no, it's always misleading. You've got to have just the thing. So I literally wrote it as just Q&A Saturday, and a huge number of comments were like, what has happened here? I have no clue. And like, so my point here is that on the internet, someone is always going to be at least mildly upset by anything. The truth is, in real life, not everyone loves everything. A lot of people might even hate my previous rant, like, no, Dark Prismarine's awful. Why do you think that you should be able to make it into walls? Hey, you one of those Dark Prismarine sympathizers? Someone hates everything, and you just don't often meet them in real life. But on the internet, everyone has a chance to hate you for everything, and that's why no matter what the title is, there's always going to be a comment or a thing trying to destroy it. And the truth is, you can't please everyone. Even if you take the most basic thing, there's still a lot of confusion there, and it's fine. It's just super interesting as an accidental case study that 4am Toycat did by accident. So yeah, go early AM Toycat with his accidental experiments. But let's move into the next question, which isn't related to the title of this video, or it might be, I'm not sure what the title is up there. Again, the goal is to bring in viewers. I hope you understand that that's how YouTube channels work as businesses. But the next question comes in from the Froggy Fellow, who asks, what update system do you prefer in Minecraft? The Java system, where they release big major updates, but they are less often, or the Bedrock system, where they release smaller updates, but they are more often. And honestly, when it comes to comparing the two systems, what it basically comes down to is Java gets one update a year. 1 year it didn't get an update, 2014, not a single Minecraft update. Some years it gets 2 updates, but since like the post-2013 era, it's roughly 1 update a year is what they average. So when you keep that in mind, Java gets 1 update, and Bedrock is doing an update every other month. So let's just say 6 updates a year, even though it's only been 1 year of that. So 6 updates a year or 1 update a year. On the one hand, 1.13 and 1.14, when they come out, it's huge news for everyone. There's really bright lights. Maybe the sun's setting out there. Again, I don't know what time it is, but so when it comes to like having those big updates, they seem really great, but there's just like 9 dead months afterwards where once people have gotten used to it and they're having fun, it's like, so when's the next update coming out? With Bedrock, something fresh and new is always happening, and although sometimes they have updates that are entirely meaningless for survival, like they had an update that literally the only survival feature was you could eat in peaceful mode. If you didn't play peaceful, there were no features in it. So yeah, the quality of updates in terms of like, well, I mean, Aquatic Phase 1 is great, 1.9 and 1.8 are great, and then there are other updates that are a little bit less. It's just interesting to see that like Bedrock, there are swings and there are roundabouts, but at least there's something new to play with at the very latest every couple of months, and I personally prefer that a lot more. I love playing around with each new update. It does feel though as in people are a lot less hyped, like, hey, when's 1.10 coming out? I don't really seem to care. So I don't know if that's just you know, maybe my take on things. Maybe a lot of you do care. I'd love to hear if that's the case, but it's something that I'd like to hear about. So next up here, we've got a question from Rob, because as well as answering in the questions, which by the way, when I leave a Q&A Saturday question, leave it in the comments down below. I also sometimes ask on Twitter, like, hey, do you have any additional Q&A Saturday questions? And this one from Rob was pretty interesting because he says, would you like to see the composter have a better functionality, or maybe even a compost or fertilizer added? So I have defended the composter, I will admit that right now. I like the composter, I think it's a great block. So many both YouTubers, community members are saying it's the worst thing ever, they should remove it. But the truth is, it's a good way to use excess crops to create something that has some mild use for farming, like it does in real life, you know, that's how you make compost. And, you know, also other places in your world, because you can turn it into white dye. So, you know, that's my thoughts on it. But what are the thoughts as far as, like, you know, what should it actually be? I think instead of bone meal, or maybe they could just use bone meal to do this, I think you should be able to make the farmland block using bone meal. I think the farmland block should be the fertilized block there. Is there like a rainbow? You know, one sec. Hey, no way, there's actually a rainbow out there. I have no idea how that's so beautiful, man. There's a rainbow outside. I don't know how that happened. I guess it's raining and sun. I guess that's how rainbows are made. But look, there's a rainbow. How nice. Sorry, like I said, I've been having sleep issues and it's just been destroying my mind. I can't focus or do anything. But to go back to compost and fertilizer in Minecraft, the thing that I would love to see it used for is farmland in Minecraft. Currently, you need to have water near it, and then your farmland stays as farmland. If there's no water near it, it eventually turns back into dirt. I would love to see either the farmland block be silk touchable, or use bone meal as a compost, or just make a compost item. I don't know if that's so worthwhile, but like I would love to see that as a way to make a permanent farmland, because it's so annoying when you know, like you harvest a crop, you don't plant it soon enough, and now you have to re-hoe the ground. And I get that's how real life probably works or whatever, but it's annoying, and I'd love to see a solution to that. So yeah, I think the composter, even though I would say it's good, it's nice, I like it, it could be improved, and I think that's one of the ways. So the next question comes in from the Pap000, who says, can you start covering add-ons? No one with your level of professionalism covers them. So first of all, thank you for calling me professional. I try my best. I don't know if that is an accurate term necessarily, but I appreciate it regardless. And second of all, you know, the reason that I don't cover add-ons is because the add-on space on YouTube doesn't really dedicate itself to showing off add-ons. Most of the add-on space on YouTube, again, just 90%, I'm sure there are some great guys out there doing really good work, and I hope that they do exist, but most of the add-on space is all about you know, basically tricking Minecraft viewers into thinking new features have been added. the majority of people are like, here's an add-on I'm trying out, but instead of like titling it like, oh, this new add-on adds this to the game, it's like, here's a thing you can do in Minecraft. Foxes, they exist in Minecraft now. This exists in Minecraft now. And people trick the viewers who are like, oh, I'm excited to try this new Minecraft feature. Oh, and it's clickbait. I think that really damages people's like views of like YouTube as a whole, because now they can't trust it as much. And also it damages people's understanding of what they can do in their survival world, especially if these are younger children. And in a lot of, you know, like add-on videos, that's what they're aiming for. They want to get the youngest kids possible on the YouTube Kids app where they can't even search for that. Like, it's this whole crisis of like, they're ruining people's trust in YouTube, and that's not something I'm on board with. That's not something I want to help out with. I'm not the biggest add-on guy anyway, and when you use add-ons as a way to trick people about the base game, that's what I don't like. On this channel, I'm excited about the base Minecraft game, all the cool things you can do with it. I'd like to help you discover more of that. And I don't want to do anything that, you know, misleads people away from that, because that's not cool in my opinion at least. So maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, but that's why Q&A Saturday is great, because we're going to move into the next question here, which comes in from the Ender Knight. Are you a fruit or a vegetable? And I'm definitely a vegetable, because, you know, you think about me every now and then and you're like, I definitely should be doing more of that, and then you don't do more of that, and then what ends up happening is you're there in the bathroom for like 5 hours, you're like, yep, definitely got to watch more Toy Cat videos. I made a great mistake, and we've got to get back into that. I have no idea what this question is. I don't know why it's in here. I picked these questions a while ago. But I definitely think I'm a vegetable, not a fruit, because fruits are super sweet and then, you know, like basically the same as eating sweets. Whereas vegetables, they've got a more refined taste that you have to really pair a lot better with. And I would say that actually probably matches me a lot better, right? Like, I would say I'm definitely the sort of person that, like, most people don't like on sight. I don't know if that's true for everyone, or if like maybe I really am just abrasive, but I think the people that I do like and that do like me seem to like me more, which is something I appreciate and hopefully value. I appreciate and you hopefully value. I don't know what my sentences are. Again, there's a big bright white light going in my face as well. Probably not helping with this whole sleep issue thing. So with that said, we're going to move into the next question, which comes in from Turtleweed, who says, which do you prefer? The old battle minigame from back in the Xbox 360 days, or the current minigame servers on Bedrock? So here's the cool thing about the Bedrock servers versus Battle Minigame. Battle Minigame was the most refined version of the Hunger Games that's ever been made by any Minecraft studio, as far as I'm aware. However, the cool thing about minigame servers on Bedrock is they're all changing so often. Again, I like new, fresh things to play around with, and for instance, there's a Valentine's Day map, because it's basically Valentine's Day, right? Yeah, that's kind of cool. You're going to see there's some, like, cool doves or swans. A swan's love. I don't know what is love and what isn't love, but, you know, it's a really cool thing that they're doing, and there's new mini-games all the time. I love Battle Royale, even though most people disagree with me. I love the, you know, we played a lot of that on this channel, and, yeah, so, what do I prefer, current minigame servers or the Battle days? I think I like the minigame servers now because they've all improved a lot. They're not perfect, they still have a long way to go, but they've gone to the stage where they're all playable, and I have a lot of fun with them. So, yeah, that's the answer to your question, Mr. Turtleweed. But let's move into the last question, which comes in from Dan's Dead, who says, question, have you noticed among the 13 to 20-year-olds today that it is more, that the more messed up you are, depression, anxiety, loss of parents, autism, etc., the more quirky you are and the more interesting you are? I know this is mostly found among the attention seekers. There's a whole Wikipedia page if you want to read about them, but there's a rise in them too. So I wanted to address this question, not because it's a fun, great one, like, hey, we get to joke about Valentine's Day, but because I think this is it's something I noticed a lot even when I was in school, and it's something that, like, a lot of people, whenever we talk about, like, oh, so, you know, this person claims to be depressed, they're like, no, they don't. So the truth is both at the same time, there is a huge rise in the number of people getting depressed. I think our lifestyles aren't suiting what our brains are best at right now. A lot more people are getting depressed or getting anxious. You know, a lot more people live with single parents, which causes more issues in that way. You know, I think autism diagnosis, right? Like, a lot of these different things which used to be kind of in the corner conditions are now more common, and also you're allowed to be more open about them. So the rates of people with all those things seem like they're way higher, and at the same time, everyone's trying to be praised off it. But that's the interesting thing is I think both can be true. I think it is both more common, and also it's a problem that people treat it in the wrong way. I think that when it comes to like, if you learn that someone's depressed, instead of being like, wow, that's kind of an interesting little fact, it shouldn't be like that, right? I think that it's really important to also be better at understanding, but also at dealing with some things, because there is a rise in, I believe, I'm not sure if the term for it's Munchausen, but there's a real number of people who will love the attention of getting sick. Every school has the story of the girl who pretended to have insert illness here. Cancer was the big one back in the day, but like, you know, like, everyone has the story of the girl who did that because they wanted attention, right? And I think it's important to you know, work out as, you know, a collective, as a society, as a school, or as a whatever body, how to both be better at dealing with people who genuinely do have depression and suicidal thoughts, or whatever. Again, I dealt with those things, or generally do have serious anxiety, without allowing more people to lump themselves in there. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I have social anxiety. Yeah, everyone feels super anxious when they first speak to people. That's how social interactions work, for instance. There's a lot of, I think it's really important to get better definitions on these things, which we haven't really done as a world, and then also to get better at dealing with people who have them without making it seem attractive to people who don't. It's a weird kind of mixture, because there's whole corners of the internet dedicated to people who can diagnose themselves with a thing, and then other people will be like, wow, you have that thing, that's so interesting and cool, and that's a problem. Like, thinking you have something wrong with you when you don't is a problem that is also rising and needs to be fixed. And again, it seems like it's scary. It seems like the biggest problem of the world, that like this is going up all the time, and it sometimes makes me wonder, like, are we as like a species just not doing good? And I think the answer is honestly just like, no, we're just discovering the things that you used to have to hide, you used to have to pretend you weren't. Now you can pretend, you know, you don't have to pretend you're not anymore. And dealing with that as a society, dealing with all this stuff being on the table, is something I think we have to slowly work on. But that's a very serious answer to maybe you know, a bit too much of a serious question, but I wanted to go a little bit Serious Sunday on you, because that's something that is totally coming back. So I started Serious Sunday when I wanted to like have like a commentary style thing, and I used Fortnite gameplay, and given that there's a battle royale I'm really liking right now, I think we're going to do a Serious Sunday in a week for that. I think it really will be about plastic straws. So Serious Sunday is coming back next week, and also because it's self-promo of Soy Cat time, I also just wanted to let you know that because Valentines Day is coming up, I'm going to do a mega stream on Thursday. We're going to hang out, me and you. I'm going to be your Valentine, you're going to be my Valentine. Actually, I'm not sure you can say that to 100 people, and especially if some of those are too young to, you know, as a collective, we're going to be each other's Valentine. That's a much better way to put it. And if you want to come watch that stream, it's this Thursday, so the Thursday that isn't last Thursday, because I can't be streaming in the past, or I can be, but you can't watch it. Next Thursday, 8 PM UK time. Google that and your current thing, and you'll find out what it is, and come be my Valentine. We'll hang out, and we'll make a giant wheat farm. It'll be great. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm so sorry about, like, again, recently, my mind has just been all over the place, broken. I don't even know what's up with myself. I'm gonna, like, spend some time, relax, chill, and just try and fix me, because right now, that doesn't seem to be a thing that is, probably, again, you know, like, it's goes back to my previous thing. More and more people are broken in more and more ways, and it's important to spend some time and fix those ways, rather than just accepting them as fact, or accepting them as thing worthy of that. There we go, brought it all together, brought the whole Q&A to a perfect end, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you all next time. Have a nice day. I'm gonna take the evening off, so goodbye.